Gentlemen, let me ask you something direct. Have you ever been told that magnesium is the key supplement for your energy, your sleep, even your performance in the bedroom? I'm here to tell you that advice may be keeping you stuck. Magnesium has its uses, but when it comes to restoring firmness, stamina, and that powerful sense of manhood you've been missing, magnesium is not the answer. In fact, taking magnesium at night might actually make things worse for some of you. The truth is, there are 2 vitamins you can take before bed that directly wake up your body's natural drive and can bring back reliable, lasting erections, sometimes overnight. That's not hype, that's physiology. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they are, how to use them safely, and why they can work even if you've struggled for years. Now, I want you to have value right away, not at the end. So let's start with the first vitamin, vitamin D3. Most men think of it for bone health or maybe immune function, but here's what almost no one tells you. Vitamin D3 works like a hormone. When you take it at night, it locks into the same receptors in your body that control testosterone production. Testosterone doesn't just determine sex drive. It's what keeps your muscles strong, your belly fat down, and your circulation flowing to every part of your body, including where you want it most. I've seen men over 70 who thought their testosterone was gone forever start waking up with firmness again within weeks of correcting their vitamin D3 deficiency. That's how powerful it can be. But here's where most men get it wrong. Vitamin D3 doesn't work on its own. Your body needs a partner mineral to activate it. And most older men are running on empty when it comes to this one. I'll share that in just a moment because once you combine the 2, the results can be dramatic. Before I do, let me quickly explain why you should listen to me. My name is Dr. May Anderson. I've spent over 25 years specializing in men's health. I may not be a man myself, but I've listened to thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond tell me about their frustrations. The embarrassment of avoiding intimacy, the awkward silence with their partner, the disappointment after trying pills that didn't deliver, and the fear that this part of life is over. I can tell you with absolute confidence, it doesn't have to be. I've seen men at every age restore their vitality by using natural science-backed strategies. Let's be honest here. Weak erections aren't just a bedroom issue. They're often the first sign of something deeper. Poor circulation, declining testosterone, and faster aging. Ignore it, and you're not just risking intimacy. You're increasing your risk of heart problems, diabetes, even dementia. I've seen it too many times. That's why this isn't about vanity. It's about survival, about holding on to the dignity and strength that defines you as a man. And that's exactly why these 2 vitamins matter. Let me share a story. A gentleman I'll call Richard came to me at 74. He told me he hadn't had a full firm erection in over 3 years. He loved his wife deeply, but they'd stopped being intimate. He said, "Doc, I don't even try anymore. It's too humiliating." He had tried medications, but the side effects left him with headaches and dizziness. So we did some blood work. His testosterone levels were below the normal range, and his vitamin D was nearly non-existent. His zinc was also low. I gave him a simple nighttime routine. Take 3,000 IU of vitamin D3 with dinner, followed 2 hours before bed by 20 mg of zinc. That's it. Within 6 weeks, Richard came back to me with tears in his eyes. He said it worked. I didn't believe it, but it worked. Not only were his erections coming back, but his morning energy was higher, his confidence returned, and his relationship with his wife transformed. Now, you may be wondering why at night. Isn't vitamin D something you're supposed to take in the morning? That's what many people believe, but here's the truth. Your body's testosterone production peaks while you sleep, especially between 1100 p.m. and 3:30 a.m. Taking vitamin D3 at night means it's available in your bloodstream right when your body is naturally primed to repair, rebuild, and restore hormone balance. Zinc, on the other hand, acts like the ignition switch. Without zinc, your body cannot produce testosterone efficiently. It's like trying to start your car without fuel in the tank. That's why so many older men struggle. They may take vitamin D, but without zinc, they never see results. Think of it this way. Vitamin D3 is the key in the ignition, but zinc is the gas in the engine. You need both to make the car run. And when you combine them at the right time before bed, you're stacking the deck in your favor. You're working with your body's natural rhythms, not against them. This isn't theory. It's backed by dozens of studies. Research shows that men with higher vitamin D3 levels have significantly higher testosterone than men who are deficient. Another study found that zinc supplementation could nearly double testosterone levels in deficient men within just 6 weeks. Put those together and you have a powerful one-two punch that restores not just performance, but energy, mood, and vitality. But let's go deeper, because I know some of you are skeptical. You're thinking, if it's this simple, why didn't my doctor tell me? Fair question. The truth is, most mainstream doctors are trained to prescribe medications, not nutritional protocols. They don't always look at the root causes. And the pharmaceutical industry doesn't make billions selling you vitamins. But here's what I want you to remember. The men who take action on this see results. Take Michael, for example. He was 68 when he came to me. Exhausted, overweight, and frustrated. His words, "I feel like less of a man." He started my nighttime vitamin protocol, and within 3 weeks, he told me, I woke up and felt like my body was mine again. His energy improved, his erections returned. And he said, "Doc, my wife keeps asking what's gotten into me. That's the kind of turnaround I see regularly." Now, let me be clear. This isn't a magic pill. It won't fix years of poor habits overnight. But for many men, it's the missing piece, the natural foundation that makes everything else work better. And when you get it right, the changes can feel dramatic. You're probably wondering about the exact steps. I'll walk you through them, but I need to warn you about something first. There are 3 common supplements men take at night that can actually sabotage your results. If you're taking these, you might be undoing the very benefits you're hoping for. I'll reveal those in just a minute. But first, let's make sure you know how to do this correctly. So, here's the right way to put this into practice. First, take your vitamin D3 with dinner. Why dinner? Because vitamin D is fat soluble, which means it needs dietary fat to be absorbed properly. If you take it on an empty stomach, you're wasting it. For most men, 2,000 to 4,000 IU is the sweet spot. Too little and you'll stay deficient. Too much and you risk imbalance. With dinner, it slides right into your bloodstream and is available as your body shifts into repair mode at night. Next, about 2 hours before bed, take your zinc. Most men over 60 do best with 15 to 30 mmHg. Less than that, and you won't feel the full effect. More than that, and it can upset your stomach or interfere with copper levels. The sweet spot around 20 mmHg taken with water, not with milk, not with caffeine, and definitely not with alcohol. Now, let's talk about those 3 supplements you should never take at night. The first is vitamin C. Yes, it's great for immunity, but at night it can disrupt sleep quality and blunt testosterone production. Save it for the morning. The second is any B-complex vitamin. These are energizers. They'll rev up your nervous system when you should be calming down, leaving you tossing and turning. The third is anything with caffeine, and you'd be surprised how many energy and even fat-burning supplements sneak it in. Take these at night, and you're fighting your body's natural hormone cycle. This is why timing matters. Too many men think supplements are about what you take, not when you take it. The truth, the clock is just as important as the capsule. Your body has rhythms, And when you respect them, you see results faster. And those results can be life-changing. One of my patients, whom I'll call James, was 72. He told me he hadn't felt a true morning erection in over a decade. He started this protocol, and by the 4th week, he said, "Doc, I woke up and couldn't believe it. It felt like being 40 again." His wife was overjoyed. And here's what's important. It wasn't just physical. His confidence shot up. He started walking taller, speaking with more energy, even dressing sharper. That's what happens when a man feels like a man again. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I've taken vitamin D before and didn't notice anything. That's because of 2 common mistakes: wrong dosage or no zinc. Without zinc, vitamin D can't fully activate testosterone production. Without fat in your meal, it can't be absorbed. Fix those 2 mistakes, and you'll finally see what this combination can do. Let's go a bit deeper into the science, but I'll keep it simple. Testosterone is produced in your testes, but the signaling starts in your brain. Your pituitary gland sends out a message called luteinizing hormone, which tells your testes, make testosterone. Zinc is what allows that message to actually trigger production. Without zinc, the signal gets weaker. Vitamin D3, on the other hand, boosts the sensitivity of the receptors in your testes. So when the signal arrives, it's heard loud and clear. Think of it like a radio. Zinc turns the power on. Vitamin D3 turns the volume up. Together, they create the music of masculinity. But here's something you may not know. Zinc doesn't just boost testosterone. It also protects your prostate. Men who are zinc deficient often have enlarged prostates, leading to frequent urination and poor flow. Restoring zinc can calm those symptoms and support long-term prostate health. So when you take zinc at night, you're not just helping your performance, you're protecting one of the most important glands in your body. And vitamin D3, low levels are directly linked to depression, fatigue, and even heart problems. Bring your levels up, and you're not just getting firmer erections, you're adding years of healthy life. This is why I tell my patients, don't think of this as a bedroom trick. Think of it as a whole body upgrade that starts with the most obvious result. Now let me add one more layer. When you take these at night, you're stacking them on top of your body's most powerful natural hormone surge. Between 1100 p.m. and 300 a.m., your body is in peak repair mode. Growth hormone is released, testosterone pulses are highest, blood vessels repair. This is why sleep is non-negotiable for vitality. By adding D3 and zinc into that window, you're amplifying your body's strongest natural forces. That's why men often tell me I felt it within days. Let me share another quick story. Frank, 67, came in complaining that intimacy with his wife had become awkward. He loved her, but his body just wouldn't cooperate. He felt embarrassed. She felt rejected, and their marriage was straining. After 2 months on this protocol, he said, "We're holding hands again, kissing again. I feel like a newlywed." His wife told me in private, "You gave me my husband back, and that, gentleman, is why this matters so much." It's not just about you. It's about the woman who still wants you, the relationship that still needs you, and the life you still deserve. Now, I promised you quotable truths, so here's one. Weak erections are not a sign of old age. They're a sign of poor strategy. Fix the strategy, and you can revive performance at nearly any age. Here's another. If you're not supplementing vitamin D3 and zinc at night, you're fighting your body's natural rhythm instead of harnessing it. And one more. A man who sleeps well restores testosterone and rebuilds circulation. Doesn't just add years to his life, he adds life to his years. By now, you're seeing the picture. This is simple. It's natural and it works. But you may still be skeptical, and that's healthy. Skepticism means you're thinking. But don't let skepticism turn into paralysis, because the men who act are the men who change. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize one more thing. Supplements are just one piece of the puzzle. They create the foundation. But when you combine them with good sleep, moderate exercise, and a diet that avoids sugar and excess alcohol, the results multiply. That's when you go from improvement to transformation. In fact, in my next video, I'm going to expose 3 so-called heart-healthy foods that actually lower testosterone in men over 60. If you're taking them daily, you may be unknowingly sabotaging your performance. You don't want to miss that. Now, let me give you the exact step-by-step protocol so there's no confusion. Step 1, with your evening meal, ideally something that includes healthy fats like salmon, olive oil, or even avocado. Take 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3. That timing ensures maximum absorption and sets up your body for the repair phase of the night. Step 2, about 2 hours before you go to bed, take 15 to 30 mg of zinc with a glass of plain water. Don't take it with dairy, coffee, or alcohol because those can block absorption. Simple, precise, effective. If you do this consistently, you may notice subtle changes within a week. More energy in the morning, sharper focus, maybe even a stronger sense of drive. By weeks 3 to 6, most men start experiencing real physical changes. Morning erections returning, stronger performance during intimacy, and even better stamina throughout the day. Stick with it, and you're not just restoring performance, you're rebuilding your confidence. Let me remind you of something important here. These results aren't reserved for the lucky few. They're for men who are willing to be consistent. I've seen this in my clinic again and again. Men who were convinced they were too far gone saw their vitality return because they gave their body the building blocks it had been missing for decades. One patient, Daniel, was 81 when he came to me. He said, "Doc, I'm not looking for miracles. I just want to feel alive again." He started the protocol, and within 2 months, he wasn't just alive, he was thriving. He told me, "I'm gardening again. I'm walking without getting winded. And yes, my wife and I are close again." That's at 81. If Daniel can do it, so can you. And that's the real secret. Age is not the enemy. Deficiency is when you fix the deficiency, your body remembers how to perform. Now, let's address a concern some of you may have. Can I just get this from food? It's a fair question. The truth is, it's extremely difficult for men over 60. Vitamin D3 comes primarily from sun exposure, but as you age, your skin produces less of it. Even spending hours outside won't generate enough. As for zinc, yes, it's in foods like oysters, beef, and pumpkin seeds. But modern soil is depleted, and your digestive system becomes less efficient at absorbing minerals as you get older. That's why supplementation isn't optional if you want consistent results. Here's another concern I hear. What if I'm already on medications? For most men, vitamin D3 and zinc are safe and even beneficial alongside prescriptions. In fact, studies show that men on statins often have lower testosterone, and correcting vitamin D and zinc can help offset that effect. Of course, check with your doctor, but in 25 years of practice, I've rarely seen a case where these two weren't safe. Now, I want you to notice something. At the beginning of this video, you might have thought the title sounded too bold. Forget magnesium. 2 vitamins can revive your erections overnight. But now you understand why that's not hype. When you give your body the right tools at the right time, changes can happen faster than you think. Let me pull this together. Weak erections are not an inevitable part of aging. They're a warning sign. Ignore them, and you risk more than embarrassment. You risk your heart, your brain, your very quality of life. But take action, and you can restore not just your performance, but your energy, your confidence, and your connection with the person you love. And gentlemen, let me say this directly to you. I know how discouraging it feels to think you've lost this part of yourself. I've heard the embarrassment in men's voices. I've seen the frustration in their eyes. But I've also seen the joy when they realize it's not over. when they rediscover the part of themselves they thought was gone forever. That joy is waiting for you too if you take the first step. So here's my invitation. If this message spoke to you, if you want real science-backed methods that are designed specifically for men over 60, then subscribe right now to Vital Health Seniors. This channel is your personal resource, a place where I share the exact strategies I've used with thousands of men over the last 25 years. Strategies that don't just promise, but deliver. And I want you to look forward because in my next video, I'm going to reveal 3 so-called hearth-healthy foods that secretly lower testosterone in older men. Foods you've been told are good for you, but may actually be draining your energy and performance every single day. When you see that list, you'll understand why so many men stay stuck and how avoiding them can unleash your vitality even further. So, hit that subscribe button now because you don't want to miss it. Remember this, your age does not define your vitality. Your choices do. And tonight, with 2 simple vitamins, you have the chance to make a choice that can transform your health, your confidence, and your manhood. I'm Dr. May Anderson, and I'll see you in the next video.